Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about Google Ads for Amazon 2022. We're also going to be touching on the changes that Amazon has implemented to encourage brands to invest in external traffic, how to test Google efficiency and effective, and Google. Let's just stick with efficiency. That's a big enough word for me. And why sellers should consider Google Ads. So, welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and Amazon FBA podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
Okay, today we're talking about Google Ads for Amazon in 2022. We'll probably touch on a few other things. Our guest is co-founder of Amped, the fastest, simplest way and most effective way to launch and scale profitability on Google Ads for Amazon sellers. Prior to Amped, Joshua led strategy and sales for the number one Google analytics consultancy in the world, where he worked alongside CMOs and VPs for Fortune 500 companies. Raised in Hawaii, all right. He has been surfing for the beautiful Pacific Northwest, where he now lives with his wife, 2 children in Seattle. So welcome, first time guest, Joshua Gebhardt. So before we get to Joshua, let's have our commercial or our sponsor. A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together. Okay, so we are back. Where is the boy Blunder?
That's me. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Happy
At least
Wednesday.
You know your name.
That is, yeah. I've gotten used to it over the years,
Yeah.
I guess. Don't even question it anymore. But anyways, welcome to Lunch with Norm. It's good to see our Beard Nation joining us. Welcome Howard, Connor, and AMZ Elite, aka Tom. It's good to see everyone. Let us know if you have any questions today. This is a live podcast, so feel free to go over to the comment sections. Let us know if you have any comments, questions, how you're finding Google Ads as an Amazon seller, or what's maybe holding you back from using them. Anyways, to start off the show, we smash those like buttons, give us a thumbs up. We do really appreciate all the love and support from you guys. So make sure you take advantage of today's podcast. And if you haven't yet, make sure you join our Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA and e-commerce collective. We got a great community over there, our beardos. And let's see, it looks like we have new nickname. Yep, yeah, it's a new nickname Norm's given me.
I think that should be the contest for the day too, for a giveaway, is that we come up with a new nickname for Kelsey.
Hey, I'm here
there
for
is
it.
Squire, there is Boy Blunder. Yeah. There's a few of them out there.
There's a few that
we got to come up with something a bit more accurate.
Okay, yeah, I'm interested. Good to see Tony as well, a fellow Canadian. And it's going to be a great episode, and super excited about it. And thank you. I saw a couple people giving us Google reviews yesterday, so really appreciate it. Rich, thank you for the review. If anyone else is interested in giving us a review on Google, I'll be dropping the link. And it takes 2 or 3 minutes, but it really does help the podcast.
And if you wait a little bit longer, he actually starts to get on his knees, start begging and groveling. So
that's right.
It's worth just kind of holding off until a bit later on in the episode. So
all righty, yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I think that's it from my end, and we can jump into it.
Okay. Get out of here. All right, there we go. All right, where is Joshua? I have to say something. Sit back, relax, enjoy, grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the episode. So far in this episode, I've had a few blunders. So, anyways, I don't know. It's kind of like a NASCAR race, right? You're always looking, at NASCAR for the accidents, they say. Well, I think people paid attention for my blunders here. So it's 3 so far, guys. There should be a number, Kelsey. As a producer, you should be putting a number up whenever I make a blunder. I think that should be a new added feature. But anyways, how are you, Joshua?
I'm doing well, Norm. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, hey, it's our pleasure. This is a long time in the making. We actually wanted to get you guys on quite some time ago, so I'm glad we're talking now.
Fantastic. Yeah, but I think that the timing couldn't be better and we'll get into this, but Amazon Accelerate was kind of the blazing neon flashlights to have a conversation about what we're about to talk about today in Google Ads and external traffic. So, but good timing.
Right. Yeah, it's perfect timing. So let's talk a little bit about that. Well, first of all, you're from Hawaii.
I am.
So I was telling you just before the podcast that, I spent about 5 years out in Kona and just loved it. I wish I was out there right now. And then you were out in Honolulu and ended up, or you were on Oahu, and then you ended up in Seattle, correct? Another beautiful spot.
It is absolutely beautiful. Not as
warm.
sunny. Actually, more rain in Hawaii, but not as sunny, not as warm for sure.
Did you? Well, living in Kona, we had nothing. Like, it's funny because, like this is why people listen to the podcast, right? Talking about Hawaii. But Kona is one of the most arid spots in the world, in North America. And then you've got Hilo, which is one of the wettest spots, like right across the island, which is, pretty cool if you want a bit of both. Anyways, let's start talking about e-commerce and Amped. So first of all, you're with a company that's just grown, exploded out of the woodwork, a platform called Amped. And you specialize in Google ads, correct?
That's right.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. Why did you kind of just jump into Google Ads? There's a lot of external traffic platforms out there. Why Google?
Yeah, great question. Now, do you want me to go back to the history of how we started Amped, or do you want me to talk about why Google for Amazon?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the history a little bit later on. I'm talking about, why did you kind of concentrate on Google at this point for external traffic for Amazon?
Such a good, that was like a perfect setup, Norm. Thank you. Great question, because this was very strategic, thought out. We know there's TikTok, we know there's Facebook, we know there's Pinterest, and on and on. Unfortunately, I'm going to give you 2 reasons. The kind of reason why we're not doing more with TikTok and Facebook and those others right now is Apple, iOS 14 and beyond, as well as Android following suit, and others have killed the pixel going from in-app to landing on your Amazon store. Now you can still send traffic, but if you want to scale, which is we're all about scale,
yep.
We think that you need to be able to measure, you need to be able to optimize. You can't do that with those other platforms right now effectively. And I can get more into the details of why, but with Google is 100% scalable and ready to be optimized. Reason number 2. Google, and you're going to get a little of my ethos here and our philosophy at Amped. I really feel that you're serving your customers in some of the best ways on Google. And the reason is there's a very high search intent. When people go to Google, they go to solve their problem. Everyone who's listening, think about the last thing you Googled. You had a question, you wanted an answer. You needed a product, you wanted to do research about it. You go to Google. And you can do research on Amazon for sure. As we all know, Amazon's gotten pretty proliferated with ads recently, which is, we'll get into more. That's another good reason too. Why Google, which it's much more of a decluttered experience. But going to that kind of core pure reason, like the purest form of advertising is customer has a felt need or like real need. And you come with your product that very much with its value proposition meets that need that they are searching for. And if they click through to the trusted, Amazon website, see that product that totally fits their needs. They were just advertised. It's got good reviews. It's got, good pricing, all that good stuff that you guys know. They buy it. And it's a really good experience for the customer. It's good, obviously, for the seller, and obviously Amazon loves it as well. But that's why Google today, there's high intent. People are intending to find something that they can buy and solve a problem that you're solving with your product. And the other platforms today, just the pixel gets killed. So it's not scalable.
So this is something I want to ask the listeners. Usually I save these till later on. But first of all, are you using Google Ads? That's the first. The second question, this has become a pet peeve of mine, is Amazon and their ads. Is anybody else getting really frustrated with how much Amazon is taking up your ad space? It just seems like, unless you're, and it's a pay-per-play platform, but you can't find an organic listing until you start to really look. Like I'm so ticked at the way that they've positioned themselves now. So if you have a really great listing, it's just not organically, it can be organically picked up, but you got, the sponsored brands, and you've got the row or two of sponsored ads. And then, later on, there's more sponsored ads. I think they've taken it from nothing to the full other, they did a 180, and now it's so bloody filled with ads. It's killing me. Yeah. So I'm just spouting, it's spewing my frustration with them.
And, I think there's mixed opinions. I mean, we've had a great experiment. I can't speak highly enough of our Amazon team that we work with on pretty much a weekly basis. It's the Attribution engineering team. And then there's the partner marketing and brand referral bonus. So we'll get into those and some of the work
right.
in the community. But I think there's conflicting, right? Amazon always wants, right? Jeff Bezos has every board meeting, every meeting, they leave one chair empty. That's the seat for the customer, right? I think they genuinely want the best experience, which means they need to provide opportunity for these other folks to get in there with their ads that might not have, because if you had just one person dominating organic, then you never would see those others. So how do we get those? Now the pendulum is swung for sure. I think everyone feels it. Even Amazon is realizing, wow, there's a lot of ads here. And I think part of it too is it's an incredible profit center. I think 35 or
the number one profit center.
Yeah. So that is not lost on any of the executives at Amazon as well. And so I think they have these two competing parts, right? They're a for-profit business, and then there's also, we want the best customer experience. And I think the ads were absolutely helping in the beginning, and now we're trying to, and I think, by the way, this is all part and parcel of why they want to bring in this external traffic, because they know it's going to be a more decluttered experience.
Right.
And some of the work we've done about getting rid of some of those competitive ad widgets, which we can talk about.
Okay. So let's get into the Amazon seller. And, there's been some changes to Amazon, and, they've implemented a wide variety of change. You just touched on it. So having attribution, having a referral program, but can we talk a little bit about that? What is Amazon doing? And let's go through baby steps. So sure. Talk about the programs that they've implemented and talk about how to set them up.
Absolutely. So, starting from the top, the single biggest change for external traffic, and why we're having this conversation, Norm, today is a couple of years ago, they started creating what is known as the Attribution API. So that's basically at a digital level, at a kind of unit-to-unit level, understanding what is being attributed to a conversion, a sale, or even an add to cart or a product detail page view from external traffic. This was completely black boxed in the past. And again, back to what we said just a couple minutes ago, is I think Amazon's realizing they need to bring in, they also want to grow their business, so that's obvious, but they want to have this more experience where they can bring customers in from all channels, not just starting in the Amazon ecosystem. So that was the first step. Now, once Amazon did that, you as a seller, what you're able to do, and by the way, just to kind of table set, you need to be brand registered. You need to have a brand, which we all know that Amazon's pushing this. They made it very easy, actually. You can get it in like 2 weeks with their programs now, or maybe even faster in some cases. But you do need to be a brand. But once you're a brand registered, you have the ability to access the attribution program. And what you need to do is turn on that attribution. We can talk about Amped and how that does it easy for you. But the baby step is you need to become a brand. You need to tap in, turn on your attribution. And then you get a set of tags that you go and put on wherever your external traffic is, right? Whether it's a blog or Facebook or TikTok, any of these other sources, or your Google Ads. Once you put that tag on your ad, when that comes into your Amazon store, your storefront, your product page, you're going to be able to look inside the attribution. The UI is a little bit clumsy to navigate in Amazon, but you can see where people came from and what they clicked on. So now there's an ability to actually track what's happening from your efforts off Amazon, and that previously was never possible. So that's kind of step one. Now, what they're offering with this, they're saying, hey, we really, really want to encourage this. And just to kind of highlight it again, for those that weren't at Accelerate, which was here in Seattle, where I am today, our home base is, at the Washington Convention Center a couple weeks ago, their first keynote, literally the keynote that opened the entire event with, I think there's about 2,500 people there, about 2,000 sellers, 500 Amazonians. They were talking about external traffic, brand referral bonus, which I'll touch about, and the ability to attribute where that's coming from. So let's talk about brand referral bonus. This is, I think, an amazing, amazing opportunity. The Amazon, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the first time ever they're offering cash back to sellers like you. And the average is about 10%. It goes up to 15. It can go down to like 6 or 7. Most people sit right at that 10% band, depending on your vertical category you're in. And that is cash back on total sales. So if you sold $100,000 in a month, you would get a check for $10,000 back. It takes about 2 months for them to cycle through and make sure there's no returns and everything. But that is straight cash that oftentimes, and what we see, can either fully offset or significantly offset any advertising costs. Or to look at it differently, it covers about 70% of your seller fees. So that's number 2. So first one, visibility. You can see what's happening. Number 2, you're getting a brand referral bonus that is hard cash back from Amazon after you've completed your sales. Number 3 is organic rank. And this part, I think this is the biggest one. We demonstrably see it in our platform. We've run we're up to about 40,000 campaigns that we're running live, and we see massive organic spike. And this is without doing any of the 2-step URLs or search, find, buy, any of that stuff. None of that. This is just literally organic Google Ads traffic coming in, lifting your organic rank, your bestseller rank, and organic sales. And we have case studies where we've seen up to 30% net organic sales increase into perpetuity. And unfortunately, when you do pull off that external traffic, we've also seen it dip. But it's still profitable. It's definitely a worthwhile endeavor. So the organic rank can't be understated. Now, Amazon is not saying, hey, you will get organic rank increase, but it's happening. And I would say that we did have Amazon on the last webinar that they hosted us, the brand referral bonus team. Amazon themselves stated with several case studies that external traffic from Google increases organic rank, increases bestseller rank, and the snowball effect for organic sales. So that's out of Amazon's mouth with their case studies. So, and then I have one more if I can go.
Sure, go ahead.
So then the last one, and I'll repeat these to summarize, but the last one is the decluttering the competitive ads, what Norm was rightfully going off about. It is frustrating. It's even frustrating as a buyer on Amazon. I'm like, wait, what is that a real? Is that just because they paid? So what Amazon? So I'll rewind the tape. In January, so we'd only launched at that point for about 5 months. We had enough data. We had quite a bit of data, and we were watching a significant drop off in conversion sales for users on desktop. And we were thinking, that's really strange, right? I get that you can pick up your phone and really quickly add to cart and maybe you'll buy. But when you're on your desktop and you're adding, you're trying to convert, you're intentionally, you're trying to buy. So it just didn't feel right. It was a significant drop. Well, what my data science team went in when they discovered this, we just manually went in and said, well, what does it look like? Sure enough, there was a competitive ad widget right at the top. When you come in from a Google property, so email, search, anything from Google related, and it is literally your 3 best competitors, right? The first thing they see in pretty big blocks, and then your product.
Yep.
Super confusing experience for the customer, right? They're advertised, your product, you described it well on Google, you come in and you're like, wait, is it one of those, or is it, you can think about it and make a logical choice, but you're distracted. You click on that and then you don't convert. So we made our case. We started lobbying with our team. We're meeting with them every week. And at first we got the subtle pushback. And I think it's a very big profit center, and kind of if it ain't broke. But we kept pushing for the Amazon community and obviously, frankly, our business as well. And said, hey, this isn't right. This is disingenuous that you're saying you're encouraging sellers to spend their hard-earned, marketing dollars to come in and then get arbitraged against with more ads from Amazon and other sellers. So we finally got them to do a test. They did the test. They started first we had to design the test with them. They did most of the first version of the design. February, I think, is when they did the first test. The results came back inconclusive, they said. And so they were going to leave it. And we pushed again and we said, no, this has got to change. You're not going to have wide adoption because hear me when I say Amazon wants widespread adoption. In 2-3 years, Google ads going to Amazon will be table stakes for all sellers. It's not going to be a, nice to have. And so, and Norm, you're getting this right at the right time when Amazon's pushing this before we're at the tip of the iceberg right now. It's kind of like the new gold rush, if you will.
Right.
But anyway, so we said, hey guys, you can't, we have thousands of customers using this. You can't do that. And for them. And so they said, okay, we'll do the test again. And so we helped redesign how they looked at it. And they did. And this time, thank God, they came back and they said, okay, I think it's enough to push through a change. And we said, we're kind of like, are you really? And they said, yes. And now, just to be clear, this change is only in place through January 2023. And I literally yesterday, sorry, it's a little mini commercial for all you out there who use Google Ads. I was on with my Amazon team, and they asked the senior engineer asked me if he could have case studies and examples, which we're putting together, and any comments from anyone who wants to see that ad widget gone. To stay gone, because right now it's through January 2023. If you come in from Google Ads, you will no longer get a competitive widget. You will get, and you won't just get nothing, you'll actually get more products from this brand. So it's actually went to like a mini storefront. It went from a negative to a neutral to a positive. I mean, and they made a global structural change across all of Amazon because of this work with our lobbying. And they said, hey, but now we know you guys have tons of users. We need to hear feedback. We're listening. Amazon really wants to hear. If you guys shout loud, this is working, we want to keep this, it'll be a permanent change. And now, by the way, this is only from Google. This isn't from Facebook and TikTok. This is only from Google into your landing page. So that is the last piece. Super exciting news. My little commercial is shout out. You can either shout out directly to me. I meet with them every week, or you can shout out to your Amazon rep. I'll probably get it more directly if you give it to me. But we want this to stay for all, whether you use Amped or not. We want any people to take advantage of the Google Ads opportunity out there, and we want it to stay as the best opportunity possible. So that's my little commercial of give me your feedback about that change that Amazon made.
That's fantastic. I think you sent me the blog article, and when I read that, it was wow. I couldn't believe that they were going to actually do that. So. I mean, if you're just joining us now, I don't like using the phrase, but a game changer. So if you're taking the time to put an attribution code or a tag onto a Google ad and it's being driven over Do you think that you're going to get an advantage if it only comes and shows your product and you're not seeing everybody else's product? I think that's awesome. I think it's fantastic. I think everybody should be jumping on and at least trying it. So, and that comes down to just another quick question about this. I get this a lot, but for people that don't know how to put that attribution tag onto an ad, and they just get confused, and they've never done it before, and they don't do it because they don't know if they're going to mess up. So you're working with Google. I know that your platform, from what I've heard, it makes it very easy to do. But if somebody's creating an attribution code, how the heck do they apply it to a Google ad?
Yeah, great question. I actually don't even do that manual work myself. So yes, the answer is it's one click and it's done. You don't, it's just, if you sign up, it happens automatically on Amped. But yeah, if you want to go, you go into so you're going to get the tag, you'll get the meta tag that's unique to each of your parent-child ASINs. So you're going to there's going to be more than one. So it does get complicated, and you're going to need a lot of spreadsheet and data munging to make it work. But you can grab the tag and then go into Google Ads. And when you're creating, you'll be able to insert the meta tag within the Google Ads UI. Without going into like a demo and showing it to you, which I actually probably have one of my team members do.
Yeah.
I don't want to misspeak, but that is where you'll take the copy from Amazon, then you'll log into your Google Ads, and as you're creating the ad manually in there, there'll be a place for you to stick that meta tag in there, and then that'll create the attribution.
And for anybody who still doesn't want to do that, or have that confusion, or they think that they might not want to do it themselves, with Amped, you can just like you were saying, Joshua, it's one click and it's done, right?
Yeah, and it's not even a click anymore, frankly, because the way Amazon has changed. So before it was again, they're trying to go very mainstream with this. They're adding more and more. Like they just added Mexico and Japan. Now they're adding more and more. So this will be global, and part of that is they want to make it part of the Amazon Ads console. So now, as long as you click you connect, you log into Amped and you connect your Amazon Ads and Seller Central and then Google Ads, all that one click in Amazon Ads makes it automatic. You don't have to do anything else, and the attributions attached to that point. And again, we're at our core, and we'll probably get into this about Google Ads. Like we're a data science Google Ads platform. So think of like any of the other Google Ads, Perpetua, Quartile, all those other guys, like they do Amazon Ads. We're Google Ads for Amazon. We just happen to be I think we're the only Google Ads platform for Amazon at the moment.
Is it strictly for Amazon, or do you do other?
Just Amazon.
Just Amazon.
That's right.
Okay.
We have a history, if we don't want to get into it. Yes, we did do direct to consumer websites.
Yeah.
That was kind of our bread and butter before with Google Ads. And we've taken all of that technology and the machine learning we built there for Google Ads into what is Amped today for Amazon. So we just do Amazon today.
Okay, great. We're going to be coming back shortly, and we're going to be talking about how do you effectively test Google Ads, but just in a second. So listeners, if you have any questions for Joshua, please post them. If you have any comments, do you use Google Ads? If you don't use Google Ads, why do you not? Let us know if you've had any success stories. So just post them over here. We'll get to them towards the end of the podcast. And anyways, I think it's important. I don't know if people are using it enough. I 100% agree with you, Joshua, that Google right now is probably one of the best platforms to drive traffic, if not the number one. So you have to think outside the box. It's not just Amazon PPC. It's a traffic blitz. And one of them is definitely a Google Ads play. But before we get to that, we do have a giveaway today. I believe, Joshua, you've come with something. Can you explain what that is?
Sure, you bet. So because this is so new, people are like, wait, that's why we're talking about this. You can do Google Ads. You can use Google Ads as a real new channel. And again, by the way, we do think Amazon Ads is $1, but $2 is Google all day.
Yeah.
And so we want to help folks do that with getting started on our ads platform. We've unfortunately or fortunately, we made it so easy for people to get connected and launch their first ad. They're not deploying all of our training videos into how they build. Now, most of it's like auto magical building, but there's still a few things where the builder needs to, or the seller needs to go in and create the right ad and do the first optimizations. So the giveaway is we're giving one lucky viewer, whoever Norm decides on, a free month of Amped Pro. Those prices are going up, but today that's still a $500 value, where our team does everything soup to nuts. You get on a 15-minute call with them, say, these are my ASINs, this is what's unique about my brand, and that's it. You sit back, we build the ads, we optimize them using the Amp platform, using kind of the internal knowledge that we have. Again, we're not an agency. Ultimately, in the future, we're gonna it'll be widespread enough. People will use this. Everyone will just use it. But today, we want to make sure you get the best start out of the gate. So that Amped Pro service, 1 month free, is what we're giving away today.
All right, I already see that Jacob's jumped the gun. So it's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. Jacob, if you want 2 extra or another entry, tag 2 people and you'll get an extra entry. So hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and tag 2 people, and we'll add you as a second entry. And by the way, if you've never used Google Ads and you want a done for you service, basically for 1 free month, $500 value, what a great giveaway today. So thank you, Joshua. And I'd be hashtagging Kelsey right away, or you might miss out. Okay. So while we're doing that, and while Kelsey's doing nothing, Kelsey, I'm paying you to do something. Can you press that button, please? A big thank you to our sponsor, Post Purchase Pro, the only complete A to Z done for you real email and text marketing service built specifically for Amazon sellers. My friends Sean Hart and Seth Stevens co-founded Post Purchase Pro after launching over 1,000 successful private labeled products, growing 53 brands, and get this, exiting 17 businesses. Post Purchase Pro creates all of your digital assets 100% for you, from marketing inserts, complete sales funnels, email follow-up sequences, and weekly email promotions. They manage and optimize everything for you to drive more sales, get higher ranking, and receive more reviews on Amazon. So check out Post Purchase Pro now to see if you too will see enormous growth like their nearly 500 clients worldwide. That's Post Purchase Pro at postpurchasepro.com/lunch. Okay, so this might not be this week, it might not be next week, but if somebody, it's a new contest, and this is for a $400 value, by the way. This is for the inventory strategy program that is set up over at Honu. So it's a management system. We talk about it a few times. Afalabi's come on and talked about it, but it's a free giveaway, $400 giveaway, if we can come up with a new nickname for Kelsey. So whatever that's going to be, I don't know. If I see it and I like it right off the bat, the person wins that 1 month free. And there's no strings. Okay. It's just, if you like what you see, it's great. It's going to help you out with your inventory. And that's it. So let's get back. And I would like to see some really original nicknames for Kelsey. I'd love to see them, because Squire and, the boy Blunder, it's getting old. Okay. So now, Joshua, let's talk about, how do you test the effectiveness of Google Ads?
Sure. So you're going to want to start small. And when I say small, 10 to 15, preferably $15 a day per campaign. We usually recommend starting with 1 campaign per ASIN. And the reason why is, and I'll just say this up front, not every single brand and product works on Google. Now, I can cut out probably most folks that have, actually, we did a whole data science study on this for, all the tens of thousands of campaigns. And we found that folks that you start to get statistically significant positive ROI, return on your investment, if your product has more than 40 reviews. So do yourself a favor, make sure you get some of that core reviews, that, all the different ways that Norm and many other people can say much better how to do than myself. Get that at least 40. When you really start to notice a difference when you're in the hundreds of reviews. And the reason, if you think about it, right, when people back to that high search intent, and I'm going to give a real life example. I just did a keynote, and it was funny. I changed my keynote 2 days before because I realized I just got back from a camping trip using a product that I found via Google search. And what happened is I went backpacking. My family and I like to go backpacking in the mountains here in the Northwest. And we just so happened to hit this beautiful, no one was there, great weather. And then the biblical proportion mosquitoes descended upon us. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I had 188 mosquitoes. Yes, I counted mosquito bites. And that was just on me. And I said, no. And we had full, like, we were clothed and we had DEET, everything. It didn't matter. And I went and I said, what is, like, I think I was Googling backpacking, family, mosquito repellent. Anyway, there's a product, I don't no affiliation with them whatsoever, called Thermacell. And I saw an Amazon ad for it, good reviews, all that. And I clicked through, at least I'm pretty sure they're not a customer. And I saw, I think they had 30,000 or something, incredible number of reviews and good price. I bought it. And the next camping trip, it worked. and the mosquitoes flew in, they flew out. Anyway, so side tip if you're a backpacker. But I say that because as you're thinking about testing Google Ads, you want to have the best results out of the gate. So I don't want you to be discouraged by saying, oh, it's not a silver bullet. It doesn't just like work. Now Google Ads works. It's a reason they're a $2 trillion company. Google Ads, they definitely work. But if you're thinking about your customer who's trying to meet that felt need, like I did with my mosquito repellent for backpacking, and I come in and I see something with one review, and the product display is not really too helpful, or it's not crisp. I'm probably going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go back to Google. I might go to Amazon and search then. But if you're hitting, you got good reviews, you're good priced, you want to start with those products. And we find like 80%, maybe even up to 90% of those products work well. Things that don't work well on Google would be like gift box for dad, or gift basket for mom. Something that's very kind of generic. You don't know, you can't be descriptive and specific. Those don't work as well. So let me get back to the testing. So you want to start with a good product. It's got a unique value proposition, differentiates, and then you have a decent number of reviews, at least 40, and you're competitively priced. Once you do that, then you're going to want to start with about $15 a day. Again, if you're not using AMP, you're going to want to think about how have you displayed, what has worked well. But this is where you're going to want to really make a very keen difference. I think the people that fail most on our platform is they don't let our platform guide their ad building, and they say, oh, I know what works on Amazon. I'm going to take my AdWords, from Amazon that works so well, and just slap them into Google. Like, don't do that. that will fail almost every time. And what you want to think about is that search intent, because if you're thinking about the funnel, right? Amazon is a very kind of bottom of the funnel, transactional, good reviews, good price, buy. Google is more, after you've had the impressions and TikTok and Facebook and display ads, now you've made them aware that they want this kind of a product and maybe even your brand. Then they're going to be searching for, okay, is it, this variation, color, shade, style, versus another one. And then they're going to see your amazing ad in the kind of a research phase. That's how you're going to want to build that first ad. Again, AMP really helps you do that. Our AMP Pro team kills it at that. But you can do it. You can totally do it. Just you need to think like a buyer who is your customer is trying to figure out what they need. Don't do bait and switch stuff. It doesn't work. It's not transactional. You want to really display what it is. Once you do that, then you're going to test. And when I say test, so you're going to put $15 per campaign, per ASIN, per day. And you're going to come back after a couple of weeks of data, and you're going to start seeing, and again, AMP again makes it really easy. You can just it's right there. What's converting? What's in add to cart? If you're doing it just in Google Ads by yourself, you'll have to attach the tag and then pull the data from Google Ads, pull it down, and try and match it up and see what's happening. But what you're going to want to understand is it this keyword or this keyword? So a keyword in Google Ads that might get a bunch of views or maybe some add to carts, like brown boots. But if you did brown, shiny leather boots with spurs, right? If that was your keyword, maybe that one got not just 50 added carts, but 72 sales and 150 added carts. So then you're going to go back and say, yeah, I'm going to kill the keyword brown boots. I'm going to leave that one. And I might add brown suede boots, spurs, or whatever, your other keywords that you might want to describe your product, and then come back again. And so it's this testing and iteration. And then once you find the sweet spots, which guys, there's 9 billion and growing searches a day on Google. There is plenty of sweet spots that are very scalable. Once you have those, then you're going to double down. Now is when you start increasing your ad spend and you start scaling up. But you definitely want to do a crawl, walk, run approach. I can go into more, but I think that might be enough to start.
Yeah, is there an average price range you should be looking at, like a product price range?
Yeah, great question. So we actually had our data science team just pull numbers on that as well. I wish I had my deck up here, I'd show you, but it's kind of some fun data science-y slides. But what we found is that it might make sense like on the outside why, of course it makes sense. But if you think about it, there's some nuance. But what we found is the lower cost per click and the higher priced item actually converts much better. So this is where the research comes in, right? People want that long tail. So it's usually a lower cost per click when it's that real long tail keyword. And then your higher priced items, because people are doing research on Google. If it's a $15 transactional item, they're just going to go they probably might just go to Amazon. So we find that the higher price items actually do better on Google. Now we still have plenty of customers in that sweet $30, $35, whatever people say, spot, doing really well. If you get too much cheaper than that, it's, people might just go straight to Amazon for that very transactional purchase. But there's exceptions to all. So I would say give it a try on Google Ads, even if you're in a lower price. But what I do find is that the higher price items actually do really, really well. Now, if you get too high price, like $10,000 or a very high priced item, $5,000, then it's going to be a much longer sales cycle, and you're not going to. Yeah, you get it. So I think short answer is all prices work, but the higher price and then the lower cost per click increases your return quite significantly.
So let's talk a little bit about managing expectations. So I'm going over there. What am I expecting? Like what type of, is it instant results?
Yeah, great question. So we tell all of our customers, give it 3 months. Like give it 3 months of a real try. This is a brand new, you're learning how to do the ads. You're learning how to dial in your Google customers, which are different than your Amazon customers. All of that is different. That takes time. It's not instant, which is Amazon's got you used to that crack pipe. It's like instant.
Right.
So give it 3 months. Now, I will say anecdotally, what I've seen with customers, you usually know within 6 weeks and often a lot sooner. Sometimes you'll notice as soon as 2 weeks, like people will just see their organic rank and sales, everything just starts taking off. But don't be discouraged. We've seen many cases where it's in like you're kind of halfway into month 3 and all of a sudden you've hit the sweet spot and it goes. If you've given it 3 months and you haven't seen anything, you're just kind of running into a brick wall, that product is probably not a good fit.
Okay, very good. Yeah, it is important. Like if you're not managing these expectations or just going out and trying to get, like you were saying, we're used to instant results when you're doing PPC on Amazon. That's not going to be the case. What are some of the mistakes that you're seeing sellers make when they try to set up their ads?
Yeah, so I think I kind of said one of them already. People take literally copy and paste their keywords from Amazon ads and put them into Google. That doesn't work. So again, that's search. So I think that's a mistake. When people try and bait and switch, thinking like, I'm going to sell something that I know is going to get a lot of clicks, but when we come in, I hope I'll get a conversion rate. That does not work from Google. You just put them into the world's highest converting shopping site, and they're going to go somewhere else and buy something else. If you kind of did any kind of a bait and switch, you want to be very, definitely show, highlight the attributes that are the unique value proposition and are shiny, but don't do the bait and switch. Other things that, I guess this is more of what does work, but you'd be surprised how often people are lazy. And they go to their Google search bar and we see it all the time. In fact, we just pulled a study. There's people search best Amazon magnesium supplement or, fill in the blank. right? I was looking for magnesium for my wife this morning. It's on my mind. So, you know, if you think about that, there's some very cool tricks that you can do to put in, you know, Amazon into whatever your keywords are. And obviously that would not be a copy and paste from Amazon, because you wouldn't do that in Amazon. And we have seen that there is 7,300,000 keyword searches a month and growing for, you know, on Google, for Amazon plus whatever keywords. So that's a kind of the positive way. But yeah, the not to do is don't replicate Amazon ads, don't bait and switch, and don't stuff too many keywords. Like, you probably want like 10 to 15 keywords within a campaign. We've seen people stuff like, you know, hundreds or, you know, 1,000. One guy did 1,000 keywords. I'm like, you're never going to know what's working and what's not. It's too shotgun. You're not going to, you know, you need to focus. You need to pick the sweet spots. And then what you're probably also want to do, and this is a pro tip, is you're going to want to send folks, we do what's called a split campaign. You're going to go one to the product, and then you're going to do that same kind of keyword variation campaign to the storefront. And what's beautiful here is maybe they don't like the brown boots, but they like the black boots, right? And then they see them right there. It's the same everything else description, and then they click add to cart, and you still get all of that attribution.
Yeah, I just recently bought a pair of brown cowboy boots, silver tipped with silver tassels for Kelsey. So he really liked them.
I didn't plan that, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's funny.
Anyway, I want to talk to you a bit about your platform now. So the platform, like the technology behind the platform and what you do. Let's just talk a bit about Amped. I've heard a lot about it. I don't use it, so it's not like I'm, plugging this because I want to use it. I am going to. I have some products that I'm launching actually this week, and I was going to give you guys a shot. But I've heard from so many people at so many events how good you guys are. It just comes up in conversation. So tell us a bit about your app. And I don't normally do this, by the way. So why don't you just get into it a bit and tell people about it?
Well, I really appreciate that. Thanks for making an exception, obviously, as a founder. Really appreciate that. And for all the people that have said kind things, appreciate that as well. We're doing our best to continue to make it a big value add for the community. And by the way, Norm, you were saying you're about to launch a product. I know other folks, like Amy has a launch with Google Ads, and Amy Wees and has replaced it, I believe, with Amped as the solution now to do that. We do think this is my little caution, and I'll jump into about the platform, but it does work to launch. It does. I would say if you want the highest success rate, again, back to what I said, an established product that has the reviews and pricing versus like a brand new product, is more guaranteed on success. But you can punch through that noise. If you have a unique value proposition, it is distinct. People are going to be searching for that on Google, even if they haven't on Amazon. So that absolutely does work too. I just want to give you the best shot to not be discouraged and not try to Google Ads again. So, okay. So let me so the platform, we designed this. So like a little quick history of the company. I think I said it. We were a Google Ads data science platform. So automating Google Ads for direct to consumer. We've been building this for the last 6.5, going on 7 years. Deeply partnered with Google, as in like their engineer. Well, we actually have Google engineers on our team too, and Facebook engineers. And anyway, with a very much engineering focused. Again, we're a platform. But then we also had Google's engineers and product people from Google working at Google, helping us build out what would become Amped. And so what happened is we partnered with a large company that has a bunch of Amazon customers and also D2C customers, but they didn't do any advertising. And we're trying to provide this value add service for them, which we did. And what was interesting is they said, hey, we have, X number of, Shopify, Magento, other customers, but we have, 5X that on Amazon. And so can you build anything for Amazon? So this is a couple of years ago. And we said, yeah, well, we tried it, but Amazon doesn't have any attribution. So it's a black box. And even though we have this amazing data science that does Google Ads super well, we're a Google Ads platform, we can't sync it. And then right at that time is when Amazon opened up. So I give you that as a prelude to tell you about Amped. We're really at our core, we're a data science automated ads platform for Google. And now thanks to Amazon, we've opened up attribution. So now you can see exactly, very simply what's happening. So as a user, customer, you would come on to Amped and you'd say, hey, I want to try Google Ads. You put your credit card in, and you one click, you link your Amazon ads, and another click will link your Seller Central. And this is so we can show you organic sales as well. And then you'll either provision a Google Ads account, which you can do in one click, or you connect your Google Ads account that's already existing, also just one click. Once you've done that, our platform walks you through. Now, if you're a first time signing up, and definitely on Amped Pro, we are going to give you the first 2 campaigns on us. We are going to build those for you. We're not going to optimize them, but we'll build those for you. Because again, the whole reason we're talking here is people don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah.
And we've had so many people, we call it churn, that give up because they say, oh, it doesn't work. And then we'll have our customer success team reach out and say, hey, have you tried this? They come and then they let us do it, and then they stay as customers. It just, they didn't build it right. So we said, hey, let's solve that. We're going to do this, the first 2 campaigns on us. And then I don't want to go through all our pricing, but we have another pricing where we'll do more of that. Amped Pro is completely done for you. So you just say like, hey, I don't know Google Ads. I don't have time. Just go. We have one call, and then we do the launch, the optimization, and we just send you monthly reports, and you watch the money roll in. So that's the platform in a nutshell.
That's great. All right. So let me see. I think it's about that time. If you do want to get in on this great giveaway today, for it's the Amp Pro for the month. Is that correct? So that's the done for you service, $500 value. It's hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. Tag 2 people and you'll get a second entry. So with that being said, Kelsey, can you hit our last sponsorship, please?
Actually, before we get to that, we have just a few comments that I wanted to touch on from the audience. Sure. From Simon, he says, I'm conflicted on whether to use Google Ads to drive traffic to Amazon or a brand website. Amazon has attribution and huge trust, but it generates much lower profits. Joshua, is there anything you can touch on that might help Simon?
Whoever asked that, great question. We get this all the time, all the time. So here's my answer, and it's probably obvious once you hear it, or maybe it's not. And this could be a longer discussion as well. But in short, there's 2 types of buyers. There's the person who's going to buy on Amazon, and there's the person who's going to buy on your website. And now that person might change over time, but in that given moment of time, they're looking to go transactional, trusted source. I'm going to go buy it on Amazon. Or I want to be a brand loyal. I want to learn more about the brand. I'm going to go buy it on your brand when I land there. By the way, those people might actually go to Amazon and buy it later anyway. But you're not. We have this thesis, and had it when we did more D2C. It's called cover the page. You want a shopping PLA ad, which unfortunately you can't do because only Amazon can do those. But your shopping, your Google search, and your organic. You want to be like cover as much of that Google page as you can. So if you think about that, when you're doing, Amped Google Ads and you're having Google Ads to your direct to consumer store, you're winning. You're in 2 spots now, and the person who's going to go to Amazon is likely to go there. It is, it's the best. It's why all the big brands are going there. It's the best digital real estate in the world today, or at least one of. And then the folks that are going to go to your website are going to go there. So you're actually, in a way, you're kind of like pushing out competitors. I think you should do both. I don't think you're going to cannibalize.
Okay. Next question, Kels. Oh, and by the way, if you do like what you're hearing on today's podcast, please give us a thumbs up or a like.
Okay. All right. Next question is from Justin C. Can we customize the Google link with Amped? For example, use a Pixel Me link to gain pixels with Pinterest and Facebook too, so that we are both retargeting plus individual keyword attribution.
Can you customize the Google link with Amped? Okay, so use a Pixel Me link to gain. So there's a there might be some issues with doing pixels to Amazon. We're just finding about. So we're very careful to steer clear of that. And so we're actually in a conversation with Amazon about that. I'd be careful with that. As far as customizing the link, yes, you can go into, I'll just answer the first question straight. You can do anything. We're white box. So we do all the data connection. We do the optimizations. If you want to go into Google Ads, you fully see it. We don't black box anything away from you. You can go in and tweak and change, add in more meta tags, do whatever you want. Now, if you change it too much, you could risk breaking the connection, the tag, and then therefore you won't see the right reporting. And I just be careful about doing adding too many pixels. Amazon doesn't like you pixeling their customers. Anyway, I don't have enough to answer that conclusively. But I'd say that the short answer is yes, you can go into Google and tweak the links afterwards.
Okay, very good.
Great. And we just have one last comment. This one's from Howard. He says he's finding early success with including Google AdWords into the Amazon traffic mix. He's looking to incrementally expand and optimize. So best of luck, Howard. And I saw that you entered today. So hopefully Amped can maybe possibly help you out with that. And thanks again for everyone entering the Wheel of Kelsey. We'll be entering all of these into our wheel. And yeah, I think that's it for comments and questions. So we can head on over to the Wheel of Kelsey.
Or sponsor first. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So here we go.
Have you got as far as you can using automated tools to manage your advertising, but know that there's so much more you could be doing? Maybe you don't know where to start or how to improve your Amazon advertising. Why not talk to ClearAds, an Amazon certified partner with over 5 years of experience in moving beyond automation campaigns to sophisticated and proven advertising approaches that are far more effective for larger scale Amazon sellers. ClearAds prides itself on being an extension of your business, providing insights into how to achieve results and ensures that you are able to understand the approaches taken and how they work for your business. Talk to ClearAds today and let them know you heard about them on the Lunch with Norm podcast and get a free audit and see how ClearAds can work with you to build your business today. Okay, now.
All right, the Wheel of Kelsey. Here we go.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, so thank you everyone who entered today's Wheel of Kelsey. We do this every single podcast, so if you miss out today, make sure you come back on Friday for another chance to win. I'll shuffle up these names here, and here we go. So if you are the winner, please email me k@lunchwithnorm.com, and let's see who today's winner is.
All right.
Gal. Congratulations. Again, that's k@lunchwithnorm.com. Just connect with me there, and we'll set you up with Amped.
Okay,
All right.
perfect. All right, sir. You are off the hook. Thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure. I am going to put up some information about you on our resource page. So if anybody wants any further information about Amped, you can check it out there. Hopefully we can get you back. I'd love to be able to come and do a training for us at some point. So Kelsey's going to reach out. And then if you could just stick around for a few minutes after the podcast, that would be fantastic.
You bet. I can do it. Thanks so much for having me.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And I hope everybody got some great tips today. Like I said, if you like the tips and you like what you've heard today, please give us a big thumbs up or smash those like buttons or do what Kelsey didn't say, but so you're supposed to do. And we will see you next week. But before we go, Kelsey, where are you?
All right. So
No new nicknames.
No new nicknames. I guess they like what we have already. Let me see. Smash those like buttons. Like Norm was saying, give us a thumbs up if you appreciated the podcast. Joshua did an awesome job. I think there's a ton of nuggets that he shared with us. So thank you again, Joshua. And if you haven't already, make sure you join the Lunch with Norm Facebook group. That's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. I saw we had a bunch of new listeners today, which is great to see. So yeah, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12. So If you have questions about Amazon, if you have topics, struggles that you're dealing with, let us know. You can let us know in the Facebook group here, and we'd be happy to take a look at it and see what we can do on the podcast. And just one last thing, if you do have the time, we'd love to get you guys to rate and review the podcast. So whether that's on Apple, Spotify, or Google, if you could just take a few moments of your time and go over and give us a review, we'd really appreciate that. It's a quick and easy way to give back to the podcast if you enjoy listening to us. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah. Join us every Monday and Wednesday and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time to go live. You can always download these later. And secondly, the community. Community is always awesome. I always love watching the comments come in and everybody who's engaging. I love working in the Facebook group and just seeing how engaged everybody is in the group. So thank you so much. We love our community. We really could not do this without you. And we will see you on Friday. Man, the week is going fast. We'll see you on Friday with one of my favorite people, Elaine Saris. So Elena Saris, she's going to kill me for saying her name wrong. Anyways, she is one of my favorite people to hang out with. She's going to come on. Very popular podcast. She's been on twice. She's one of the most downloaded podcasts that we've had, or episodes that we've had. So anyways, join us on Friday for Elaine and see what she comes up with. And I'm sure you're going to love it.
Lunch with Noor.